on here. So one of the things I want to go over today is the basics. We're going to start from scratch with a PBS. So you can see how you need to navigate it, how the steps to go through. Paul does have the PBS roadmap. That's what I was looking for the link for. I've misplaced mine somewhere on one of my folders. I'll keep looking for it. Hopefully it'll come back to me, and I'll post it on our student chat and the other MSI chats that we have access to, so you can look for that. And that will give you a step-by-step of what you need to do in your PBS when your instructor says start with your homework. We do have a homework link that actually does that. We've updated a little bit, but Paul's roadmap is really good too, that all the MSIs got together and said what you need to do to go through and make sure your PBS is up and ready. So the first thing we're going to do is open the chat up to see if there's any questions that or anything specific you want me to go over. I will do my best to do that. The one thing that I ask is that if you are not talking or while I'm doing some instructing, if you would just mute yourself so that we don't have any background noise, the recording, that will help. Also, usually if I hear background noise, I kind of zone in on that a little bit, and it kind of keeps me from being totally focused. It's a little distracting. So if you would do that, I would greatly appreciate it. So right now I'm just going to open it up for questions to see what specifically you want me to go over today or cover today, or any specific questions you have. I'll do my best to get those answered. Okay, so let's go over with questions first, and then we'll start our training.
Yeah, Sheila, I just have one quick question. I was on the wine call and Rory totally confused me because I thought that you were looking for keywords. I use Jaxie, keywords that did have a lot of traffic, and he was showing, okay, nobody's looking for this, so this is good. Am I making any sense?
Yes, and I thought that would, so I will go over
okay.
that. Yep.
Hello, gotcha. Everybody. It's Linda Marie.
Yes. Hi, dear.
Hey, sorry I got so late. I've gone one thing after another.
It's okay. I'm gonna go over that too. What you were asking, Linda Marie, about the wine in different countries. So there's a lot of confusion about wine, where we can and can't market it. So I'm gonna go over that. Okay, anybody else?
So I need to go pull that Australia off?
No. Just a little bit of rewording, and I'm going to show you how to do that. Okay. All right. Anybody else? Got a question or anything specific they want me to go over today? No? So everybody's PBS is perfect and ready to for doing it.
Yeah, right.
We're going to have a short day. I'm going to go get my hair done. So
don't be like what's her name, going there to get your hair done and people know that you're there because you called and made an appointment ahead of time.
Oh yeah, no, I just show up. I never make an appointment. I usually just call and say, "Are you busy today?" And she's like, "No, okay, see you in a bit."
Yep.
So, hey, right, Sheila, this is Phyllis.
Hey, dear.
Hi.
Hey, Phyllis.
I got a question. This isn't a whole lot to pertain to what we're doing today, but is my PBS going to change if I relocate?
No. That's one of the things I wanted to talk to you about. So, no, because PBS is worldwide, marketed worldwide. The one thing that you will need to be aware of is that you will probably be able to market other things like in CJ because you'll be in a different country. So you still need to make sure that whatever you are marketing, that you're only advertising in those areas or in those locations. So if you are marketing wine, I'm gonna go ahead and go over the wine right now. The wine is marketed worldwide. The wine program, like the grapevine, we can market that in any country right now. So you can tell people, do an ad for wine, do a wine business page, and talk about the grapevine marketing. They can build up grapevine programs in their country, and then when wine is shipped there, transfer it from a grapevine to actually getting wine. In the United States, they can build, so they can get in the grapevine. They'll get those names that they can market to here in the U.S. and any other place that we have wine delivered to. So they can still market their wine in the U.S., still get BV, still gain points, still gain commissions from the sale of the wine programs here in the United States. And then in other countries that they market to for the business side of the wine program, they will get BV for every month they renew their $59.95 for their grapevine program. So if you have a page out there for the other countries that we deal with direct sellers, for Australia, Canada's supposed to be open next month, at least for Ontario, so you'll be able to market in Ontario. You can still market the grapevine system there. You can let them know that, hey, Canada's opening for Ontario soon, but you can still start your business with one ambassador. So you can let them know they can start a business. Same thing with Australia. You can market down there. The grapevine system, when they wine, they can convert to wine. We don't know a timetable for that. Same thing with other countries. Phyllis, when you go, where are you going now again?
Lima, Peru.
Peru. So in Peru, we need to see which one of our anchor offers are marketing there, and then you can advertise in Peru for those programs, and then you can need to check with CJ and see what companies market to CJ or market in Peru that you have access to, and you can market there in Peru. But same thing with the wine. You can market your wine program in Peru. Nothing's going to change for you. You're still going to be able to market as if you were here in the United States. Nothing's really going to change except where you set up your banking. So that's the other thing. If you leave your banking here in the States and then just have access to it from where you are. Other than that, nothing should really change.
Okay, yeah, my banking is going to pretty much stay the same because my husband will be here and
Yep.
he'll run the household at this
Yep.
point. But the other thing is my wine, I won't get that anymore?
No, you won't be able to ship that there, but you can ship it to your house and have your husband sign for it. So he'll have it, so they can still get that, but it won't be able to be shipped to Peru.
Okay, that's
So
the
they
sad
can't.
part.
Yeah, that's the sad part because they can't. They don't openly ship. Because if they could, then we would be able to have the wine ambassador in Peru. So
And he can't ship it to me.
that I don't know. So that would be something you'd have to check with your local post office if he could. I'm sure there's ways around it, like gifts and things like that, just not in bulk. But since it is liquid, and with COVID and everything else, you would probably have to check with your post office, FedEx group or whatever, to see what the shipping requirements are for liquids.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
my Valentas as well. They won't get shipped over there either, right?
I think Valentas is in Peru. We need to check with that to see if they ship over there.
Okay,
But
thank you.
Yep, but I think Peru, Valentas is more worldwide than the wine. Same thing with the Bella Vita. It's only in 4 countries right now: the United States, Mexico, Japan, and Canada. They haven't expanded to other countries yet. So,
Okay.
but yeah, but nothing with your PBS. The same, writing, everything, and you can market just like you're marketing now.
Okay.
Nothing, nothing with that should change.
Okay. Thank
Okay.
you.
You're welcome. So I hope that cleared it up for Linda Marie for your Australia page, Canada page, or Germany page. Any country you want to market to for our wine, you can market the grapevine. It is available. They can market, get a PBS, market the grapevine system, market the actual wine product and distribution here in the United States. Since we don't stock up the wine, we don't ship the wine from our homes, that's not anything that we have to deal with. So they can actually build up a business in wherever country they are, And then once they see that, hey, that country's got a great wine program going on, that gives wine ambassador more leeway to go to that government and say, hey, we got a great flourishing business here in your country. We need to get them our product so that it grows bigger. So that just helps wine ambassador and also helps you. Those that get the grapevine system, you also get BB. They also are still privy to the compensation plan, just like those of us that actually get the wine. If you are in a non-ship state, you do the same thing. You come in under the business side of it for the grapevine for $59.95 a month. You just won't get the wine, but then you still have access to all the commissions and everything else that we get. And then once wine comes into your state, then you're automatically transitioned into the wine. So that's how the wine works. Now for the keyword search, if you were on with Rory with the wine, you noticed that he was talking about there are keywords out there that people use all the time, and then there are keywords that he was saying we're cornering the market on. So he was talking about the More Than Muse today, and there's really no company out there that's using the More Than Muse. You know, there's a few of us out there, but it's not a whole lot out there. And when you go to look up More Than Muse in Google, you know, they're not, it's more than a muse ebook. It's different. It's not More Than Muse. So what he was saying about the keyword, you're creating a keyword search by the activity you're making with this keyword. So there's little out there. There's only 56 people looking for it. About 10 people is going to come to your site. Right now, there's 128 people that are using this exact key phrase, but you have a 98% chance of getting on the first page with your marketing. So usually when you go and create, like I had a word yesterday that I was looking for. It what was it? Shoot. Because it was less than 10. I think it was so I was looking for this topic yesterday because I created a new page, and you see where it says less than 10. So that means that is a key phrase that no one is using. It has very insignificant traffic that people are searching for it, but there's other related topics. So this will be, say, like, you know, you're creating a brand new page or you're creating brand new awareness of something. That's where Roy was talking about. Now we're going to create an awareness of More Than Muse. You're going to create that awareness. And now once you start marketing More Than Muse, people are going to start seeing it. They're going to start seeing images pop up on Facebook. They're going to start seeing images on Google. They're going to start seeing articles written on different places. So then they're going to start looking for that key phrase, More Than Muse. And then your sites are going to start popping up. So there's the difference between using an established key phrase to market with and creating a key phrase to make it more aware. Just like when Valentis comes out with new coffees, we have access to those keywords, like Thermoperk. That's not a key phrase people were looking for, so we created awareness of what is Thermoperk, what is, you know, thermal roast coffee, what is, you know, we created those key phrase searches. We cornered the market. So now when everybody starts looking for it, what is Thermoperk? Then our websites are going to come up first because we cornered the market on those key phrases. We got more advertising out there using those key phrases and key terms. So that's what he was talking about today when he was talking about this key phrase isn't out there. Nobody's using it. We're cornering the market on that key phrase so that when it does get popular in 6 months and other companies start using it for their product, we already cornered the market. Our websites are going to outbeat theirs because we've already got 6 months of advertising in. We're already aware, so people are going to think More Than Muse, hey, that's that wine program, or that's that wine that you get from Wine Ambassador. You know, there's here, let me show you this website where I found this. Our key phrase is going to represent something different than other people are going to have to work around our key phrase logo and our key phrase means to get their product marketed. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so you're trying to grab a keyword when that particular item is not really anything anybody's talking about yet.
Exactly.
Okay.
But you know it's a good product, you know it's marketable. So you're basically making them aware that, hey, I got this key phrase, I got this great product. I'm letting people know first. So it's almost like you got the corner in the market on something that nobody else can get. Then once it becomes popular and they get all these off brand things that are similar to, and they use your key phrase is already synonymous with your website. So that's
Okay,
why
so the
we are,
things that are already on the PBS are things that have already been out there, already been advertised.
yep,
So you're looking for something that will draw them to that keyword
yep. So
because
you
people have
do have,
already been looking.
yep. So like this one right here, it says nootropic, and there's 6,000 people that look on an average that look for this particular word, nootropic, and just that, nothing behind it, just nootropic. And there's a relative about 6,000, 7,000 people that look for that particular keyword. Out of that, about 1,100 is guaranteed to come to my site at any particular time. This is my competition. There's 151 sites out there. So I'm averaging about a 72% chance of getting on page one with this amount of traffic that will come to my site. If I do the proper marketing. So people will do this key phrase, and they'll do a page on it and then set it on their website and like, well, I'm not getting that much traffic coming to my site. Well, I'm not getting that traffic. You're not advertising. And that doesn't mean just advertising at one time on one platform. You have to constantly be advertising so that your page moves up in the ranks on Google searches, because people are looking for this. The less amount of platforms you put it on and the less amount of times that you advertise it actually correlates with how much traffic you gain. So if you're only advertising once a week on the same platform, you're not going to get that much exposure because you're doing it on the same platform. So that's why you want that's why you want multiple advertising platforms, because they will reach different people. That's why you want the LinkedIn, because that goes to mostly businesses. That's why you want the Facebook, because that goes to just about anybody. You want the regular ad sites. Don't just use the classifieds for free because it's easy. Use the US ad nets. Use the classified ads. Use Craigslist. Use Facebook Marketplace. Use classified for business. Use, whatever the hotspot ads, any place that you can find. And you can look up your own ad sites. You don't just have to use the one that Rory has recommended, although there's some great ones there. There's tons of them there. You can just go in and search Google, for free ad places, or where can I post my ad for free? Things like that, and go for it. Make sure you post it in as many cities, as many towns, as many states. If it's accessible to countries, put it in different countries. Then go back to that country and put it in different provinces, different cities, different locations in that country. You really want to flood the market with your ads. And people's like, well, what's flood the market? Put it in as many places as you can, as many times as you can, and as often as you can. So that's why we say when you create those templates, you want to have 3 or 4 or 5 different headlines. You want to have 3 or 4 different ad bodies. And you can switch it, like Paul was saying today, if you got 12 pages on wine, switch it out. That's 12 different ads you have, as long as you can rotate those templates out to different things. You should never run out of ad templates. Depending on the time of year, depending on the trend, depending on how you're feeling, you should be adding to those templates on a regular basis, keeping them fresh, even modifying your own. I've had one student, she went in and she modified all of her templates. And I'm like, why did you modify it? Why didn't you just create another ad from the modification instead of modifying the one there? Use your modification as a new template, or as a new ad body, or as a new headline. That just adds to it. When you go back and read it, say, man, I could make that better. Then make it better. Don't change the one that's there. Create the new one, so then you have another different stream to market with. So that's why I say you should have those ads all the time, and at least once or twice a week, you should be doing nothing but advertising. Take one of your days that you're using to market your website or modify your website. Just say, okay, I'm going to take that time, if it's 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, I'm going to use that for advertising today. And use it maybe the first 10 or 20 minutes to create new templates, and then the rest of it to post those templates. That's what I do. If there's a day that's like I had to take my cousin to a bunch of different appointments this week since she was up there in Raleigh, and trying to take care of my daughter. So I was sitting in the car a lot. So the good thing about Dropbox is you can take it anywhere. I have the Dropbox on my phone. Some of the memes that I don't have on my Drop, so I email them to myself and put them on my phone photos. So I'm sitting there on Instagram, typing some stuff out, because on Instagram you can do a post or Instagram about every, I think it's 15 or 20 minutes, you can send out a new one. Same thing with Facebook. You can go on Facebook and do things, but I can pull up my free ad sites. I can put my templates in my Dropbox, copy and paste over in my phone. So it's portable, transferable. You can even pull up Google Docs, depending on how much space you got on your phone. You can put a Google Doc app on your phone, and if you use that to store your templates, that's a great place to store them, because then you can just pull up your Google Doc app, pull up your templates, copy and paste them from there straight onto wherever you want to send them. So it's highly transportable. But it's a good place to, good thing to advertise your site in as many places as you can, as often as you can. And then work on your PBS. Always working on your PBS, creating new pages. Like Rory said, if you're like, well, I don't know what I need to do today. Create a wine page. Create, a new page on where you're at, what you're doing. Always doing something. But if your page isn't 100% modified in your PBS, then that's where you need to be working. Okay. All right, so
Ma'am.
All right, gotcha. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to show you, we're just going to talk about some basics in PBS, where you find things, what you need to do or need to know about your website. I know there's a lot of people, even in my training this week, when I say go to a tab, they're like, well, what's a tab? These are your tabs up here. So we're going to talk about some basic tabs. When your instructor says go to a tab or open a new tab, these are your tabs at the top. To open a new tab, you just click on the plus button and it will open it up. This is your toolbar right here. So some people have a toolbar or bookmark bar. This is it. This is where you have everything that you've bookmarked. Some people have the 3 dots or 3 arrows right here. That means you have extenuating or extras that doesn't fit up here. If you could only fit 9 or 10 up here. Any picture that you bookmarked is going to be right here. It's going to have the 3 arrows. You click on that, you're going to get a drop down. That's why I say if you have a drop down, you're not organized. Everything should be in a folder, and they should be organized according to what that drop down symbolizes. So if you have information pages, then you should have a folder for information, so that when you click on that, all your information pages show up. You should have personal, so you have all your personal stuff there. You should have your social media platforms all in one folder, so you can make it easy to do advertising. I call mine my website enhancements. These are things that helps my website to get better. This is where I have my Jaxie, Canva, Google AdSense, my label making for when I make labels. This is where I have my broken link checker, my tiny URL plagiarism, and then my Google Ads. So this is where I have everything for my site to make it better. Then I have a list of all my ad sites that I use. Some of them are broken down into different ones I have added into there. Then I have my marketing sites. These are everything that I have affiliates for. So I have clothing affiliate sites in here that I'm a part of that, I've researched, and you can research outside of PBS for sites that you want to market. That's the good thing about having your own website. You don't just have to use what's available, although I suggest you do. But when we lose something like, makeup company, the makeup company we had is no longer there. So go on Google and search for makeup affiliates. Search for clothing affiliates. Search for you know, food affiliates, seafood affiliates, you know, meat products affiliates, you know, anything out there that you want to market, search for it. The only thing we suggest is that if you do another multi-level marketing program, just keep it to yourself. We don't try to go outside of what we already have, just not to confuse people. We just make sure we train what we've been taught, but you can always search for more content to add to your website yourself. You don't have to use just what's there. So I have several different things. I have, you know, all of my crypto in here. I have my tipping circle stuff in here. I have my Sephora in here, my state base. Everything that I have connection with an affiliate is here. I can find it. And then I have all my Zoom trainings. I see people all the time, you know, what time is the Zoom training? What's my link for the Zoom training? The best way to do that is have a folder, and then anytime you log into a Zoom call, hit your button and save it once you get logged in, and save it under your Zoom training, and then you can name it. Hey, this is the Tuesday night call, this is the Thursday night call, this is the Saturday training class. Then that way all you do is you just come to your Zoom folder, you click on it, and then boom, you're right there in your class. You don't have to worry about where it's at, what time, what's the link. The links don't change from week to week. They're the same. So just keep that in there. Same thing with training. I hear people, you know, that training class Paul had, you know, what was that link I need to go to episode whatever, you know, where's Paul's class, what was the training for, you know, the Saturday calls, where's the training link for the wine and dine. So this is the place where, and I have training and RR information, and I have all my Google Docs for my instructors that I need. I have my personal sites that I have docs for. I have my Trello board up there. I even have the Wednesday Crowder where we do our game on Wednesday during the wine and dine, the trivia. I have that bookmarked. Then I have my PBS. I have my Goya calls on there. So this is where I can come in and find anything that I need to send out. I even have Rory's new page bookmark that I can get. The one thing I can't find is my one that I have for Paul, and I know it's here somewhere. I probably changed the label of it or anything. And then this is the important thing. A lot of people I notice when I go to training, when I say log into your website, you literally open up a tab and you go into WordPress and you type in your information. You should not be doing that. You should have your site bookmarked so that all you do is click on it and it brings you to your site. Some people would bring you to, depending on where you've saved it, it will bring you to this, which is where I saved mine. Sometimes it will bring me to where I have to log back in, but I've saved my passwords and stuff, so you shouldn't be hunting around for your password and login. It should be saved in your computer, either through the computer program that comes with your computer, or those of you that have the, what's the little computer program that we have that saves it. Whatever program you use that saves passwords, it should be there. You should not be looking and hunting for passwords. Even in my personal stuff, I have all of my, you know, even for my Gmails are in there. The passwords are saved. Those of you that are using Chrome, if you forget your passwords, there's these 3 dots right here. If you click on these 3 dots, you just go to settings and open up settings. And right here under autofill, it has a place for passwords. If you've told your computer to save your password, which everybody should, when that little square pops up and it says, do you want to save this password? If it's correct, you should hit yes. Because then right here is all your passwords for your computer that you've ever saved. All you need is your access to get into your computer, whatever it is that you used as a precaution. Some people don't have their computers password protected. Mine is. If not password protected, these passwords just show up. If your computer is password protected, then this little I, it says show password. It's going to ask you, what is your password to get into the computer? You have to unlock it to see it. And it will show each individual one as you click on it. So anything that I need, if I forget my password, a lot of you have trouble, you know, with Response Magic getting in there. Sometimes Response Magic's just wonky. but you also have to make sure you're in the proper Response Magic setting. Make sure you're not in the home of Response Magic. Make sure that you are in responsemagic.com. So that's one of the things that happens with, because here's mine. I got two different ones for Response Magic. One of them is for the home company, and one of them is for actually Response Magic. But all of my passwords are here, so if I happen to forget one, all I have to do is just click it, and I'm good to go, and I can find it. So that's where you can find your passwords if you have had your computer save them. So just some basics on Computer 101. Now, when you come to your website, everybody's going to come to their site. Once they open it up, it'll be on your home page. So your home page is where you're going to start. You're going to always modify your thank you page. And once you get finished with that, oh, my Google Ads is there. Okay, cool. They weren't showing up the other day. So once you get your ads set up and get things going to where they go, then you want to come in and start working on your website. So you're going to come here and you're going to go to your dashboard. All right. And your dashboard is basically your navigation system for your whole website. This is where your home is. It shows you your updates. It shows you all your posts. It shows you your media tool. It shows you your pages. Most of us don't deal with comments. Some of us put them on our page, but you don't have to. Appearance is where you can go and basically customize your website. And then your profile. These down here is just basically for tech support. They get into those. I suggest you don't mess with those. If you do, you could really mess up your system. This is just tech. They go in and copy your profiles. They go in and basically fix your website from here. So these are mainly for tech support, but they're there. But I suggest don't mess with them. So if you want to customize your website, we're going to go into appearance, and you're going to go into a header, okay? Or you can just go to customize, and customize will bring up your whole thing, okay? So here is where you can actually go in and basically start making your website your own. One of the things you want to do is your site identity. As you can see, my site identity is Shop with Mama Chief. So if you come here, you can have your site title. And this is what you can change. Remember, you cannot change your URL, which is what you come with. Mine's 5e95.com. You cannot change that. You cannot change your password. Those are registered businesses. So as soon as you get your website, you are registered as a home-based business. You cannot change that, because that's like Walmart coming up and say, we're changing our name from Walmart to, Wal McDonald something, overnight. They can't do that. There's laws and things you have to go through to do that. Same thing with your site. You cannot do that. If you do it either on purpose or by accident, there is a charge to get it reset. So just be aware of that. There is a fee for messing that up, whether you did it on mistake or on purpose. There is a fee for that. I've had students that had to pay that because they didn't like the name of their title, their URL. You don't want to mess with those. Those are the only two you don't mess with. So you can have a title. You're right here. Everybody comes with online amazing offers. You can keep that rendition, or you can modify it, or you can change it altogether. I changed mine altogether because I wanted something that's unique, that if I give people the title of my website, it's going to be easy to find. There's not going to be 100 other sites that's going to pop up with that name. So it's totally up to you. But once you change it, you want to make sure you stick with it, because that's going to follow your site. You don't want to keep changing your website 50 times until you finally decide what you want to keep it as. So, but especially if you're applying for Google AdSense and you go and change your name, it's going to mess it up. If you're doing advertising and you advertise your homepage and you go in and change your name, it's going to mess up what they see. So just make sure that when you decide to change your title, it's something you're going to stick with. A lot of people start modifying their pages first and think about what they want their site to be named, and then come back and name it. That's totally up to you. I'm just showing you where these things are for you to be able to do. Tagline, this is just, it's interchangeable. That's the one thing it is. I keep mine the same, your one-stop virtual shopping experience. Some people change it for the holidays or one-stop holiday shopping, you know, or get your holiday shopping started. School starts here, things like that. So that's one of the things you can change is your tagline. And then you have your icon, your site icon. You can actually change the picture here of what's going to represent your website. So you can upload an image there that mine's my logo, and that will show anytime you advertise your website. Not a page, your website being your URL. That icon will always be displayed with that page. So that's how you go. And then after you finish all this, you hit your publish. If you don't hit your publish, it won't change it. It'll stay the same. So mine's grayed out, so that means I haven't done anything. So it's good.
Sheila, can I interrupt you for a second?
Yes.
It looks like Rita Pierce was trying to get in, and she says it looks like we're not having a class this week.
Is she in the right? Is she on the?
She messaged student classroom.
All right, let me see if I can get her in there. I thought I posted the link. Let's see.
Yeah, I went to the wrong page first too.
That's the wrong link. Yeah, if anybody has the link out there, let's see if I can get it out there to her. Now see, I have all kind of notes that I keep up at all times. There we go. All right, hopefully she can get in. Thank you.
You're welcome.
RoboForm, yes. With the slug and keyword being different. Yes, your slug and keyword does not have to match. And I'm going to show you an example of that on one of my pages. And we'll go over that. Let me write that down. And there's a reason for that. And the other one was. All right, going down. Okay. All right, so, and then you have your social media platforms. So you can come here, and at the bottom of every page, you have that option to where they can connect with you on Facebook, Twitter. You can do your LinkedIn. Google Plus is no longer valid, and your email account will not work for the simple fact is they put a HTTPS and WWF on email. This is just automatic. Your email doesn't have those. So if you put your email address in there, it'll automatically put a prefix in it that does not apply to emails. So your email won't work. But you can go in and put your Facebook, your Twitter, and your LinkedIn account for them to be able to connect with you. If you don't want it on every page, you don't have to. You can actually just whenever you are in a page and you want them to connect with you in your email, just post it in your email. Say, hey, connect with me here, or shoot me an email. You can do it that way and just put it right directly into the page you are creating. And then your colors. You can have a color background, which is mine's background's purple. You can select it to be white. I actually have a background that I've put in. But even with your link color, like people's like, well, how did you get your words to be pink or purple? I selected it. So all of my wording's not black and white. They're over here in pink. Now, when I actually write a page, it is, but when I do a topic or a title, it automatically reverts to this color. That doesn't mean that when I post a link or add it to a page, it goes to that. That does not happen. That's not what that's for. That's just basically how you want your highlights to show up. So anything that I put in in a menu category or a title is going to be this color. So you can choose whatever color you want to. Then you have your header images. And this is what I say, you know, that shows up here. This is my Google ad, but this is the header, and I actually have that image shows up somewhere else. But anyway, that's cool that they use that image. So you can actually upload images. You just want to make sure that your images are not too big. I have some in here that's too big, like that one's too big. It needs to be downsized. My daughter's is too big. But you need to have the images need to be really small. I just have images that are too big. But the good thing about it is Google can advertise up there in that empty space. So like this one's way too big. So you can go through and have them. This is the optimal size that you want your images to be. It takes up less space. Like this one is another one. You want it optimal size. Your website comes with 4 or 5 different images that's in there, and they have it on randomize, which you want it to do. That means that they randomly show up through your pages. They're not always the same on every page. They sit there for a couple of seconds or minutes or whatever, and then if somebody clicks on another page, it might be a different one. So you can't select and say, hey, I want this image to go with this page all the time. It doesn't work that way. So just remember, you know, you want it to be minimal. You also want to make sure that each picture or image that you add here actually represents something that's in your website. You just don't want to put a picture in there because you think it's, you know, hey, that's a cute picture. Every picture I have in here represents something that's on my website. So if they go there or see this image, they can actually find those products on my page somewhere. They can look for travel. They can see this image and say, oh, I want to see that. And they can use my search bar and type in weight loss. They can use my search bar and type in cartoons. They can use my search bar and type in diet. They can type in coffee. They can type in get-togethers. They can type in, you know, Bugs Bunny. It's in there. They can type in inspiration or motivation. They will find something. They can type in wedding gowns, wedding anything, and wedding's going to show up. You know, they can type in wine and women, and something's going to show up. Bitcoin, you know, games. They can type in games. They can products for couples. They can type in the word couples. Travel is in there. So everything that I have here, they can type in movies and it'll take them to a movie page. They can type in cigars. They can type in wine. It will take them to a page. Art will take them to a page. Native culture, I have a page on native culture. Travel, you know, sunset, beaches, anything related to that. There's something in my page that mentions either beaches, full sunset. So they will find something related to every image I have on my site. So when you are customizing it for your images, you want to make sure that if you choose an image that you do have something in your page or in your site related to that. Okay, let's see. Somebody said something in the chat. No, you can't link these header images. You cannot link those. Those are just there. That's why I said make sure that they have are related to your site somewhere, so that if there is a keyword or something that they can go through and see where it goes. They can use a search. Yep. All right, now the other thing is the background image, and this is what you see in my site is the background. So in the colors, you see where it said background color, I still have it purple. So if something ever happened to my background, then it would turn purple. As you can see in my pages right here, it's purple. So all my pages actually are purple. It bleeds through this, and then my link color matches it. So I don't have white sheets. When people go to my page, it's actually a very pale purple color. So, but now my background, which goes behind each page, is this. And it's very subtle, but it's very classy. I just like these color ranges. It's warm. It looks classy. It looks rich. So that's one of the things I want. You don't want images that are going to overshadow your pages, because what you got to remember is that you do have a white or very off-colored background here. So if you use a very colorful or distinct background image, it's going to bleed through your pages. So, and you don't want anything that's going to distract from, you know, what you're writing, that people's always looking. It's like, what is that? They're trying to make out what your background image is instead of what's on your content. So if you do change your background image, like I said, you want it to be very subtle, but still within the range of what you want your pages to represent. You can do it, different things. I have people that have tiles in here, so you have little blocks that show up all over the place. I'm going to show you some of the don'ts you don't want to use. So I'm going to go to, I think I have it in my blogging pictures.
Hey, Sheila, real quick, is that soft pink you got on your page as a result of the background?
No, I actually, that's the color. Hold on a minute.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, when I go in, I have one that said background. When you go here to colors, my background color I selected, so that's my background color. And the reason it looks very light is because of my dark color right here. That makes this a lighter pink. If I left this as white, this would show up as a darker color.
Okay, I think. Because that's what I was thinking you was talking about, was that it was bleeding through that, and that's why it's a soft pink.
Yep, that's why, because the darker side's bleeding through it.
Okay.
So that's why I said if you are using that, whatever you use as a back color for your website, not your pages, that it is going to bleed through. So you want to make sure that is a complement to whatever you're doing. So let's see if I got it in here. Background. So here's some backgrounds. Let's see if I can get them to come up. So like this right here, you wouldn't want to use that as a background. You wouldn't want to use that as a background. That's just too busy. You could use, even that's too busy. Something subtle. Just remember, like if I would have used this, these patterns would show up on the background. Same thing with that. So you can go through and find, like here's an all black. That would probably be good. I just don't know what it would look like. So it depends on how you want your settings to look, how you want your background, and you can play around with it until you find one that represents you and what you want your site to look like. And I just went through Google and typed in background images and pulled up and saved some that I liked. But that's the one that I chose. And it just complements my color scheme. It complements my pages, and it reflects me as a person. Very subtle. I like those kind of colors, warm tones. So that's the thing. And then same thing with your menu. There's a lot of people like, well, where does I get my menu? Your menu here is on your menu structure. Just go to your menu structure and you can see that. Your widgets is where you can come and, do your left of menu widgets and right of menu widgets. So, but we have extra places that we can do that. Your homepage settings, again, these are just things here for tech to come in. If you ever have a problem with your system, this is where tech comes in and fixes it. So you don't want to mess with those. So anything above widgets and above is things that you can use to access your website. Once you get finished customizing each thing, make sure you hit your publish so it stays. And then if you want to come through and see your menu, you can do the same thing. Come down to appearance and pull out your menu specifically. And then there's your menus. Now, on Paul's training today, and it always gets confusing, and I don't know why, but we're going to try to make sure that everybody understands the difference between the menu, the category pages, and floating pages. Okay? Your system is made up of posts and pages. Post is everything that's on your home page is considered a post. Everything after that is considered a page. That includes your categories. Okay, your category is still a page, but it's a page that you are distinguishing as a category, which means you're going to be able to put multiple things in it relating to whatever that category is. So our arts and entertainment, beauty and cosmetic, blockchain, wine and dine, or, blue scorpion. I have cigars. I need to actually put that in a different one. Clothing, you have that. You have your computers, cooking and wine. You have, your dating, your business, jobs. All of those, yes, are category category structures that are on your menu, that are making up your menu, but they are still a page. Okay, it's just a page you have distinguished. Our category is made up of 90 total items. 90. That means including your category menu, your category, any subcategories you put in there is also counted. So you can only have 90. We suggest you have less than 90, around 85, 86. That way, if you decide to create a new category menu, you can, or a new category to add to your menu, you can. You have that capability. Now, your website is consistent of multiple pages. So I'm going to open up 2 tabs so I can help you see how this works. So in your pages, I have 273 pages total, 219 published, 54 in draft. Okay, so my website has 219 pages. Okay, it has 5 posts, I think. It's got 5 posts. So roughly 223 pages consist of my website that people can see. I don't have 223 items on my menu. That would be impossible. Number one, it'll be too busy. People's not going to sit there and look through everything. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that your categories are on your menu. And those are your relevant topics that you want to talk about. Then your subtopics should be your most relevant pages that you want to stand out for people to have immediate access to. So if you have a new page that you created and you're like, man, I really want this to be on my menu so people can see it, you can put it in there and just take out one of the other ones that's there if you already have a full menu structure. Just take it out. And when I say take it out, just remove it. It does not remove it from your website. It just takes it off the menu. They can still find that page by doing a search. Or if you are in your categories and you have listed that page on your category menu or on your category page, then all they have to do is click on the category page, and you should have a little short blurb right here that talks about what that page was. And then they can click the link there and go straight to it, to the page that you took off. So you want 90 items or less on your menu structure, but on your category page, which this is a category page, health and fitness is a category page. You can have as many links on here as every page that you want. So I have a page for red wine and health that goes to my red wine and health. I have plant-based products. I can put that in there. I just created the page for the nanotechnology for the Velveeta. I can come in here and modify this page. I don't have Velveeta on my menu structure, but I can come here in my category page and edit this, put a new header, a new title right there. And let's do that. Just go here and edit my page. Come here and I'm going to come down to the bottom and I'm going to do another, once it catches up, and I'm going to do another heading and I'm going to put nanotechnology. Okay, and then I'm going to pull up my page, and I can have as many pages as I want. So I'm going to go to my dashboard, and I'm going to go to my all pages, and I'm going to use my search on my pages and type that in. And then here's this right here. I'm just going to click on edit. And I'm going to do this right here. Copy this first paragraph. Come back here, and I'm going to paste it. And I'm going to modify this. Okay, because I don't want an exact copy of what I have, because that will give a false reading on a plagiarism checker.
So Sheila, this is on your home page then, right? Do the little blurbs.
No, this is not home page. This is a category page.
Category, okay.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I'm going to get rid of this. Okay. And then I'm going to go back here to my page. I'm going to go to my document side, come down to my permalink, copy my link address, come back to my category page, and I just told them to check it out. And I'm going to put this internal link here, paste. And you can open it in a new tab or you can leave it. Most people just leave it, but I want to change this color. I want it to stand out a little bit. So I'm going to scroll up my page so it's at the top, click this on, hit this little drop down arrow, go to my color, and I'm going to choose a color. And then if I want to custom color it, I'm going to come to this wheel. I want to make it a little bit darker. All right, it didn't do it. Did this to me yesterday. Custom color. All right. That should do it. Why isn't it not doing it? It's there.
That is so aggravating. It's done that to me too. I'm trying to change.
Yeah.
I
It
want
did
that
it to me.
color.
It did it to me all night last night, and I thought I had it figured out, but apparently I don't. So let's see if we can do it again. Color. It's not going to do it. But see, my cursor's pink, purple. This just isn't following the color scheme. Yep, I don't know what's wrong with it, but that's how you change it. I'll have to go in and look through it again. And then if you want to, you can add an image for what it is. So I'm going to come here and add images. And since I already have an image, I'm just going to go to my library. And I'm going to pull an image up that I want to use. Select. And then you can just, make that a little bit smaller. Move it up. Maybe it's not. Let's see. And center it left. There you go. And there's that. And then I just update it. So now I have an image. I have a new topic that's on my category page that's going to take them to an article that I've written that is not in my menu, but it is a page that's still in my system. So that's how you can get all of your pages added that people can look at without it having been on your menu structure. Now remember, your menu structure is things that you want to be most relevant. So if you have a new page, then you can go to your menu and say, okay, I'm in my health and beauty category. I want to add my new page, but I already have my 90 items, and how do I get them out? How do I change it and add something different? So then you just have to say, well, do I want to put it in my health and beauty, or do I want to put it somewhere else? So this one, say I want to remove this one, but then I'll have to remove that one. So let's remove this one out. And all you do is click your drop down and just say remove. All it does is remove it off your menu structure. It does not remove it from your page. And then if you want to add one, you come back up to your menu, and here's a list of all the new pages that you created. And then all you have to do is just click the one you want to add, hit add to menu. It's going to put it at the bottom. And then you just go to your bottom of your section and drag it to where you want it to go. So we're going to move this up here to health and beauty. And I just want to see where I want to put it. So I'm going to put this right here. I want to indent it right there. So now that's a new tab that's up underneath there. And then I'm just going to, depending on where you are, top or bottom, then you hit Save Your Menu. And then your menu saved. So now when you go back to visit your site, then you have that new category under Health and Beauty or Health and Fitness. You click on it, and then there's the new page you just added, okay? So that's how you can go about swapping your pages back and forth. The other thing I wanted to show you is someone was talking about that your slug and your key phrase doesn't match. It doesn't have to. You just need to make sure that your key phrase is in your slug if at all possible. You're going to get a sign down at the bottom that says that it doesn't match or that it's not in there. As long as you have green and green, it's fine. If you're in the memes program, then yes, you have to have that key phrase or that slug to match your meme. So the one for the Velveeta is brain. So you want to make sure that your slug, so when you go to edit your snippet, your slug should be brain, but your key phrase should be whatever key phrase you are looking for. So my key phrase is nanotechnology, and that's it, because this has about a 8,000 key phrase search a day for nanotechnology. And whatever I put after and, here I put nootropics, is totally irrelevant to my key search because this is the key phrase that people are going to be looking for. Now my slug is what my title is, which I want it to stay my title because people look for nootropics too. But when you put nanotechnology and nootropics, your key search numbers drop tremendously. People are not looking for that, but they are looking for the word nootropics. So that's why I left it as both. So your key phrase and your slug don't have to match, but you do want to make sure that your slug is in your key phrase. So if you're using brain as your slug, then you want to make sure brain is in your key phrase. If it's not, then you're going to have to make sure that when you are writing your content, that you have enough in your SEO analysis that you get the overall green and green. You're still going to have that one red that says it's not in there. That's fine as long as it's overall green and green.
Quick question. We're talking about that those being different, but when I look over to under page view page on the other side of your page, it says nanotechnology and nootropics.
Mm-hmm.
So when you post a link, it would have to be that, right?
Yeah, your link's going to be whatever your slug is, not your key phrase. So if you change your slug, then that's what your link's going to be.
Yeah, but even though it says under page view and the link that you would use for the page would say and nootropics, it would still, the keyword is still only nanotechnology and?
Yeah, no, the key phrase is nanotechnology and. So the key phrase does not negate or does not determine what your slug is. The key phrase determines what people are searching for. Now, if your key phrase and your slug match, then that's fine. That's what it's going to be. But if they don't, like in my instance, it doesn't match. But my key phrase is in my slug, and my slug is my title.
I see.
But you can change them. So if I wanted to come here and just put my slug as nanotechnology, and I can just take this off here. But then, as you can see, it automatically changed my link.
Okay, but so when the nootropics is on there behind the and, it's not looking for that with the key phrase. It's just looking for the nanotechnology and the nootropics. Yep. Nootropics is just showing up in the title or the link.
Yep, exactly. So it's really a two-part. So if people are looking for nootropics and or nanotechnology and, my page is going to come up because that's what they typed in. But if somebody happens to say, well, they want to look for nootropics, my page can also pop up for nootropics because it's in the title. So when people are searching in Google, Google is this. This is how Google works when you're searching. They search for what you put in initially. So if people put in red wine health, they're going to pull up anything that's exactly that, red wine health. But then after they do those searches, they're going to put in red wine and health, or red wine healthy, or healthy red wine. They're going to put up any other combination of those words. So even though was looking for red wine health, they're going to show me all the pages that have red wine health. And up underneath that, they're going to show me all the pages that have red wine health in the page itself or in the description. So that's why the meta description is so important. That's why your first paragraph is so important. That's why your title is so important, that not only you have your key phrase in there, but that you also have it in your slug. So if the slug says, with our memes, we have the slug that says TV. We have the keyword, the slug that says brain. We have the slug that says PGN. That's where you're going to go and have the slug say PGN, which people aren't looking for PGN. We're creating that awareness for PGN. But when you create your page, then you're going to say PGN, Performance Given Network. So they'll look for Performance Given Network, or you can say Performance Given Network, PGN, so that they're in there, and then you're going to use PGN through your page a few times, either explaining or using it as an abbreviation, so that it picks it up in Google, so that when people type in PGN, anywhere you have that in your page, it's going to be a potential search for somebody to see.
So I could put PGN as the slug, and then for the keyword, I can go in to Jaxie and search a good keyword, and then put that in my keyword.
Yes. Yep. It's just, yep. Exactly. It's just that when you're doing your actual content, that you use both.
The keyword.
Yep. You use your key phrase, and then you use the word for your slug. Because if not, you're going to get that little red dot under your SEO that says they don't match, or you're not using it.
But I have to make sure that I use both the keyword and the slug word.
Yep. So if your slug's going to be different than your key phrase, you need to make sure you use them both. And then you also need to make sure you use both of them in your meta description, which is this right here, or your snippet. Mm-hmm. So when you come into your snippet and you come down here to your meta description, that you do use, hey, we have this Performance Given Network, otherwise known as PN, and then that way you're covered. So that people can, if they're looking for Performance Given Network, there's your page. If they're looking for PN, there's your page. So you cover all your bases.
Okay.
That makes sense?
I think it does.
Okay. Yeah. And
Sheila, so that's why Google, when you search for something, you have all these different things that pop up, black, dark, come down, because it's going to cue all those different words. Just depends on what order they're in.
Yep. And you don't, and necessarily you don't want to mess with the slug unless you are in the memes program. And then there's reasons why we do that. It's because you are creating a link specifically for advertising with that meme. So like with the Velveeta, we had to use brain, so that when they create the memes and the banners and everything, everybody's got the same link. It's just your URL is going to be different. So mine will be 5e95.com/brain, and it will have the same image, but it'll all have a different link. So that's branding. We're branding. So you necessarily have to change the slug if you don't want to. Now, some people have a really long title, and there's like, I got this really long title, but I don't want my link to be that title. I love the title. It makes sense. But then when you go and look at your link, as long as your arm, and it's like, man, it's not going to fit on anything. You're going to see half your link. So there's a good instance of where you're going to use your slug. Your slug is just going to be your focus key phrase. It's not going to be your whole title. So you can manipulate your slug a little bit, but not much. The one place you want to make sure you change those is when you're going to modify a page, which everybody should be doing, and you change your focus key phrase and you change that title. If it's a published page, You have to come down here and change that slug. If not, it's going to be the original slug that's there. I always tell my students is that when you go in to change or modify a page that you got with your system, if you switch it to draft and modify in draft, then it wipes out that slug so that whatever you put there automatically gets put in place. So that's a quick fix for having to change your slugs, is if when you come to a page in your system that you need to modify a brand new page, instead of just hitting edit, once you go into edit phase, click on switch to draft. That wipes everything out. It clears everything. It clears your slug, it clears your key phrase, it clears your meta description. Everything gets put like brand new. Then as you're typing and creating it, then when you come down to your SEO, it's going to tell you haven't put a key phrase in, you haven't done your meta description, and then your slug will correlate with whatever your title is.
And so,
that will save you a couple of steps.
huh. So if you switch it to draft and then you go back and republish it, you say then, let's say if you didn't mess with the keywords or anything, but you had switched it to draft for some reason, then you publish it back, would all your keywords and stuff be missing from the page?
Yes, your key phrase will be missing because you switched it to draft and you changed it. Sometimes it will, sometimes it, but it will change your slug to whatever your new title is. Yeah.
I think I did that before, and I went back on a few pages and said, "Where did my keyword go? It's gone."
Yeah. Yeah. So if you switch it to draft, it does change all of this to blank. It blanks it all out because you drafted it. So it thinks you're changing the whole page, which you technically are. If you just go to edit, then it thinks that you're only changing content and not anything else. So that's when people go and they're editing their page and they change key phrases, change titles, and then they go and push it, and then they go to look for it and they can't find it by keep typing in their key phrase, is because your key phrase search is based on what your slug is. So if you never changed your slug, then you're going to get a page not found, especially if you didn't change it in your category page.
Yeah,
So that's why, yeah, so that's why you get those broken links. So if in there modifying a page, a brand new page that you have, for especially if you got a brand new system and you're still in that modifying and editing phase, then yeah, when you come to a page and you're going into edit, switch it to draft. And then that way everything is brand new. You don't have to worry about switching slugs or modifying snippets, everything. You can go in and change your key phrase, and your title automatically changes as you type it.
Yeah, I noticed one time I published like one new page, and it came up right after I published it. Up on the right side, it came up with the option to post it to Facebook, which was new that I'd never seen before pop up when I published the page. And I went away from that to look at the page first, and when I tried to go back, it was gone. So I unpublished the page and then published it back just so I could get to that link.
Yep. And sometimes, and like I said, usually when that's happened, it's because you've changed, edited the page like you're supposed to, but the slug's still the same as the original. So if you change the title of a page that you've modified and it's just in edit, that slug's going to stay whatever it was from the beginning. That's why I always say switch the draft. It clears everything out. Then you can put your focus key phrase in. You can do your own snippet or editing here. And then as you type your title or create a new title, your slug will match it.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome. The other thing, and I'm glad Michael was on here, I wanted to talk about something. Hold on just a minute. All right, I'm back. So that's going over your slogan, your keyword that they don't have to match. The other thing is, Michael was asking in the chat about your advertising rate going down. Yes, it will. If you are not continually advertising your pages out there, then you can be dropped in your ranking. Somebody else that's advertising more, getting more hits on that same key phrase search will bump you down. So that's why it's important to make sure that you are advertising, that you are continually putting pages out there, that you are making people aware. People looks at social media converts a lot higher than they do regular ad posting. That doesn't mean you're going to post continually on social media all the time, because we'll kick you off for advertising unless you have created a business page, a business profile. Google does charge you for a business profile unless you just open a business page under current Facebook page. And that's really easy to do. You just go to pages, open a new page, give it a new title that's different from yours. It is business, and that's where you do is just go there and advertise business. Do your memes, do your little blurbs and things like that. You still don't want to do it more than once or twice a day. I usually do marketing about 2 or 3 times a week. Everything else is really social, talking about my family, my kids, putting out my opinions on things. The one thing, and Roy alluded to it today, I've been doing it for quite a while, is when you do a social media marketing or anything on social media, do a hashtag for your website. Like mine, Shop with Mama Chief. So anytime I post, I put a hashtag to Shop with Mama Chief, then people's going to say, what's this Shop with Mama Chief? Then anywhere I put that hashtag is going to show up, which will be any of my advertising, any of my memes, anything that I have out there that has hashtag Shop with Mama Chief that's on Facebook is going to show up. So that's getting clicks because, people's like, well, what's she talking about here? And they'll click my link and go and read it. So when you are on social media, no matter what platform, do a hashtag. And then if they click on that hashtag, anything with that hashtag will show up, and it should be exclusively to you. There are other means or other hashtags you can use. If you use hashtag red wine or hashtag Bitcoin or anything, then your ad will show up wherever that hashtag's used. If that hashtag hasn't been used, then create one. Then you've just created a hashtag, and then make sure you use that hashtag every time that you do a social media marketing. It's just another way of getting exposure for your site, exposure to you and your programs. So yeah, make sure you are using those hashtags. They are good for marketing. So anytime you create a page or create a social media post, make sure you put that out there. So, but yeah, you want to make sure that you are doing your website marketing every day. Every day you're putting something out there. You want to make sure that it's getting noticed. There was something else he said. I want to see if I can get my chat back up.
I have a question on the hashtag.
Yes.
On the hashtag, is there training on how to do that, or is just because I've never done the hashtag where it links to something?
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily link. So let me show you. I'll just go up to my Facebook. So like I did, let's see if I can get mine that I pulled up. Let's see if I can find my post I did yesterday.
Hey, Sheila.
Hey, it's here somewhere.
Maybe if you click on your name up there on the right, it shows it at the very top.
Yeah. Let's see. All right. So here's one of these. And see, I said tag my daughter, but then I did hashtag. And all it is the pound sign and then whatever. There's no spacing. So if I click this, then there's all the posts I've done for hashtag, you know, and it's got ads, things, you know, personal things. The one on my business site has all my business stuff. So, you know, this is things that you want to do. So if I go out there like today, I'm going to go out, go to home, and let's just do what I just created. So I'm going to go to my page I just created right here, my fitness page. Take that out. And see, this has a link in it. I'm going to take the link out because you don't want a link there. I'm going to remove this. All right, and then I'm going to add an image. And I'm going to go to my logos and go to my nootropics. And I thought I made one last night. Did I make one last night? Let me see all files. I thought I made one last night. I guess I didn't. But we can put it out there. We use this one. And then up here, I'm just going to hit enter. And you can, it depends, wherever you want to put it. You can put it here. Or you can put it at the bottom. It really doesn't matter wherever you want to put it. It's, you know, up to you. And then I'll just click that and then I'll post. And then I'll come comment on my own page.
So what does the hashtag do for you?
The hashtag, when I put the hashtag in, if anybody clicks on that hashtag, it pulls up everything that I've posted.
Okay,
So
is that automatic with Facebook?
Huh?
Whenever you put a hashtag, is that automatic with Facebook?
Yes. So if anybody clicks on this hashtag, it shows everything with that hashtag. So this is a hashtag I created. So it shows everything I created and then even my comments. So they can come here and comment, but look, there's my logo. They can copy that and say, okay, let me see what she's talking about. You know, so I haven't commented on this yet. So I'm gonna go back in and I'm gonna comment right here on and then I'm going to get my link from my templates. And I haven't put the new one in yet. Okay, and there's that.
Okay. Yeah, I
So
didn't understand the hashtag thing that it actually linked to something.
yeah, so the hashtag will link to anything that you've hashtagged with that word in Facebook. Same thing
Okay.
with Instagram. If you do a hashtag in Instagram, if they click on that hashtag and you've used it in any of your posts, it will pull up every post that you've used it in. So same thing with Parler, same thing with any of the social media platforms. That's how hashtags work.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. And they're great marketing tools because number one, they're not links, they're actual hashtags. And you do have a limit. So once you reach that limit, they'll tell you you use this hashtag X amount of times. That's your limit. I don't remember what it is. I think it's a 350 or something like that. Well, then you can just create another hashtag. But your
Okay.
hashtag won't ever go away. So if they click on, you can repost a link or repost anything and it will have that hashtag in it. Again, if they just click on that hashtag, it brings up everything that you've done with that hashtag. So,
So Shop with Mama Chief, that's your web page, right?
yep.
So
So
like
if they wanted to go and Google Shop with Mama Chief, it's going to pull up my webpage.
okay, so if I was to publicize my web page, I would use my title.
Mhm. So if you're on social media and you just like when you do your wine postings, your box openings, in your comments, or even as you're starting, it always says what you want to say, and you can say, hey, this is my wine box opening for my great wine club that I'm in. I'm excited to see what's going on today. And then at the end of it, do hashtag whatever your website is.
Okay.
And then,
Okay.
then that way, when everybody clicks that hashtag, it'll see all your wine openings, or to see all your comments or all your posts that you've done with that hashtag. See, I use a combination of advertising with my posts. I'll do one of these about once, twice a week. And it's just basically marketing my website. Now the rest of it is, like I said, basic regular social media stuff. But
Right.
if anybody clicks on this hashtag, they'll see, where I did an infomercial for Velita, something crazy my daughter made me do. I didn't know she was filming. She said, "Mama, what would you do if I told you to make a commercial?" And I said, "Don't you be filming it." She says, "I'm not. I'm typing my Skype. They're talking to my friend." And I'm believing her, not because I didn't think my daughter was going to do it. So here I am looking like Aunt Jemima over there, but I was cute. I tell you, I was cute.
Oh, that was sneaky.
And then when she got finished, and I even said, I said hashtag Shop with Mama Chief at the end of it. And then she posted it. I'm like, what did you just do? And she's showing it to me, but it turned out okay. And so we were actually driving back home after that, and she said, "Oh, Mama, you got 54 hits in 30 minutes." Like, I'm gonna still kill you whether you know it or not.
It was cute though. I loved it.
Oh, girl, yeah. If I'd have known that, I would not have acted that way.
But that's the true self though,
Yeah, that was me. I mean, raw and uncut. But I mean, things like that, videos, especially for those that don't understand social media marketing, videos get put out first above everything else. So,
Okay.
I mean, even if, like when you did your wine unboxing, it was a video. Video goes on news feeds first, then images, then no pictures or images at all. So if you are brave enough to do videos, more power to you. Even for like the one I did for the Velveeta, something like that. I can't say. I still want to say Velveeta because that's what she was saying. So, but
yeah,
I mean,
like the one I did my mask. Did you see my mask one?
I haven't looked at that. This is the time I've been on social media in 3 days. So
I posted one. My husband got me a light up mask, and I videoed that and posted it on there. But I didn't put any. I didn't link it with my business though.
Yeah, so you can go back and edit. So when you go in, you have these 3 buttons. So you can go and edit your post, and then just go in and type a hashtag in on your edits. So the
Okay.
ones that you want to stand out. And then that way, when everybody, it'll start getting noticed, and people will click it, and then next thing you know, they're going to come up here and they're going to say, well, let me see what this shot with Mama Chief is. And they'll type it in, and then they'll look, and then they'll see every place that you have shot with Mama Chief. See, mine's showing up first. Wow. And it could just be that I'm on my, and see, here's mine in Alignable in Monroe. So my wine and dine. So it could just be that I'm on my computer. But here's my Pinterest stuff. So that's pretty good. You know, and I actually have a Google business on. Once you get Google approved, you can set up a Google business page. And it has here, so on my Google business, I can just click on the website and it takes them to my website. So
No.
that's the good thing about using the hashtags. They will get curious and be wanting to see, well, what is this all about? And they will type it in on a search. So that's why I say hashtag your website name, hashtag, you know, a page, or hashtag something that relates to you that can direct them right back to your website if they type it in on Google search.
Yeah, I could never figure out why do you got to put a hashtag up that, what is it normal in real life called? It's a,
I lost you. I was reading something. Say that again now.
the hashtag
Pound
is
sign.
Pound sign.
The pound sign. Yep, the hashtag is the pound sign.
Well, I didn't know what that hashtag was for. What was it used for? It's just a pound sign. So why would I want to put that on there?
Yep. So that's a social media term for a pound is hashtag. So they use the hashtag, and it's for every social media platform. Somebody was asking, is it good for Instagram? Yes. Any social media platform, you use those hashtags, which is just the pound sign with whatever you want to create. And you can create your own hashtags, just like with what Roy was talking about today, branding a new key phrase. You know, what was it? The Muse. More than Muse. That's a branding of a key phrase. There's not a lot out there. There's not a lot. People are using more than a Muse, but they're not using more than Muse. So we're branding a new key phrase. So you can brand a new hashtag. So you can create your own hashtag and make it popular so that you're starting it. People will start getting curious about, they're seeing this hashtag all of a sudden. What does it mean? They'll click on your hashtag in whatever platform you're using, and there they'll see everything that you've used with that hashtag. That doesn't mean you have to use it on everything, but if you are marketing on social media, basically, you definitely want to use that hashtag with your social media advertising. But you don't want to just use it just on your advertising. Use it on some personal stuff, especially your unboxing. Use it, like you said, with your face mask. Use it for something that gives them a little bit of interest so that they will start following you on Instagram. They will, friend request you on social media, or they'll start following you whenever they see a post on a news feed. But it will become popular. It will become second knowledge to people. And then the curiosity will get the best of them, and they will go in and start searching for your hashtag. They'll actually go on Google, like I just did, and say, let me see what this is all about. What else do they have that I might like?
Okay.
So you definitely want to become aware. And I know there's some of you that's been here for a while, and you have the same title on your website. You can change it unless you've used that title somewhere in marketing for them to come to. Then it's going to be kind of tricky, but we don't usually advertise with our title. We advertise with our links. So you can change the title of your website unless you've made, business cards or some type of advertising that you've used that name for. If you haven't, you can always go in and change your name of your website. It doesn't change your links. So that's the thing is, you want to go in and make it more personable. That's why I always say, give it time to think about your website. You know, I just showed you some basics today on how to customize your website, how to go in and do different things, but you can always change your title. And then once you change it, unless you've gotten Google AdSense, I wouldn't. You know, there is a way to go, because I changed mine after I got into Google AdSense. I went in and changed my title because I didn't like the one that I had. And they were fine with that because I've had Google for a while. So it is possible, but if you haven't changed, you know, even if you've already applied for Google AdSense once, maybe they didn't like your title. Maybe the title of your website was too generic. Or if they've seen that title too many times. I've seen a lot of people apply for Google AdSense and they've never changed the title of their website, and it's like they're getting denied. They don't know why they're getting denied. It could be your title. It's the same as 10,000 other people that's tried to apply for Google with similar titles. So make your website title as personable and as different as you are making your website. Yes, it works for Instagram. Yes, I posted training on my YouTube channel. Okay. Michael, I'm going to have to look at that because it shouldn't show your page name. It should just show your URL. Your URL is different than your page. So that's what I want you to make sure. This is your URL, okay? Your URL is different than your page. Your page title is just that, your page title. This is your page title. Is right here, is Shot with Mama Chief. That has nothing to do. You see, this is my link, my URL. If I post this, this has nothing to do with that title. So even if I, you know, look at your links right here, it still has your URL. Now, depending on how you have your SEO set up, I think I understand what you're getting ready to say. When you go to your SEO, if you have this in here, some people do have their website name, but it's not in, it's in here. It's not in here. It's not in your slug. So you can still go in and change your title. Even though you got ads out there, I still have ads out there with my old name on it, but it doesn't affect my permalink. And
So
your
when you
permalink
advertise, permalink advertise, is that where you get it from? Is your permalink?
no, your permalink is just that, it's your slug. And your slug has nothing to do with your site title.
Because I know sometimes when you're typing in your 5e95.com, you / and then you put the other stuff there. How do you know what to put there?
It's most of them I have them memorized, but usually it's whatever your title of your page is, unless you've changed your slug.
Okay.
Yep. But see, now when I go to put my meta description in, that's what I have is the Shot with Mama Chief. But if they click on anything that I have here, it's basically linked with the permalink or the slug.
Okay.
So you can, it's not going to affect your previous ads that you have out there if you change your title now, because your title is not in your link in your slug.
Okay. I put another question up there for you in the chat.
Let's see.
How do I change this link key phrase? You're linking to another page with the words you want this page to rank for. A lot of my pages are saying that.
Sometimes, and I get this in 2 different instances, and I noticed I did a page on it the other day and I got it, and I was like, what did I do? And it was because that I did an internal link that had almost the same phrasing as a key in the key phrase. It used one of the same words that was in the key phrase. So there's 2 different reasons why you got that. Either the advertiser that you're working for or making the page for is using that key phrase in their ads. So you're basically competing with your own competitor or with your own advertiser, or you're doing an internal link that has one or similar words in its key phrase or title.
So is it a big deal to leave it there or change it?
It's not. If it's a good key phrase, then use it. It's just there.
Okay.
As long as your overall is green and green, you'll be fine. It's just if you're competing with your advertiser, you'll never get as high a ranking as they will, because most of the time they pay for their advertising. So that just means you have to advertise more. If it's not a word that the advertiser's using, then more than likely it's because you've used that key phrase in an internal link that you've used, and you're competing with yourself.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right.
But if it's a good key phrase with high ranking, usually I don't worry about that. But I noticed that when I did a page the other day, and I had brain, and then I had brain fog and brain food, and I had an internal link to go to the other, and it popped up. And I hadn't had it before, and I was like, well, why did it pop up now, you know, when I'm finishing the page? And I was like, okay, what did I do? So I removed the last paragraph that I did, and it went away. And then that's when I discovered, it's like, oh, I'm using brain and brain. I use brain in that key phrase, and then I'm using brain in one. So I'm linking to the same page or different pages with a similar key phrase, which is
Okay.
Yeah, that happened to me, but it happened on my fine wines page, which I can't change anything.
you mean you can't change anything?
Because I've got the meme. I do the memes.
Okay. Yeah. So as long as you got the green and green overall, you'll be fine.
Okay.
Yep. As long as these right here are overall. Google doesn't look at the individual SEO. They don't look at that. They look and see, okay, did you meet the overall criteria, which means your SEO is green, your readability is green. They don't come and look and say, oh, she's only got 22.2% key, transition words. She don't have enough. We're not going to even look at the rest of it. They don't look at that. They look at this right here.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So as long as these two are green, you're good. If you have one green and one orange, and you just can't get that orange out, sometimes they'll let it fly as long as you don't have too many. So if you have 200 and some odd pages, and you have 3 or 4 that's in yellow, sometimes you'll get away with that. If you have a red, that's a no-no. They don't want any reds at all. None. I don't care if this is green and this is red, you got a red. Red is a no-no. So you have to fix the red. The ultimate goal is to make sure everything is green and green. The one thing that Google does not look at, they don't look at anything that's marked private. They don't look at anything that has a password protection on it. They don't look at anything in draft. They only look at things that's open to the public. So anything on your page that you've published that's accessible, that's what they look at. There's things I have on mine that are private that I give to my students. It's key, password protected. It's not open to everybody because everybody's not in PBS. Same thing with Paul and Rory's site. There's things that's only accessible to students. Google doesn't look at those pages, so they can be whatever they want to be. I have pages in there I mark as private to where I do research. I might put in, hey, I need to use this key phrase. I'm going to use this over here that I pull up. That's just for me to use for notes. It's easier for me to go with my web and look under draft than it is for me to, put it in a category that I know I might change it later and delete or whatever. So it's really dependent on you. Your website's yours. You can make it however you want to make it. You just need to ensure that it is complete and concise and that it represents you. Most and foremost, it represents you. No one should be able to go to your website and see Rory or Paul or your instructor or anybody else in there but you. They should be able to go to every page and it reflects some personality that they've come to familiarize themselves with your page. That's just me, the way I see it. Every page should be yours. Content, everything. Even if you're in the memes, leave the slug the same for the memes program, but you can still change the key phrasing. You can still change the words around. You can still change the images. Everything can be changed as long as you still have the slug, meaning fine wines. Your key phrase can still be fine wines and more, or fine wines and around the world, whatever. But your slug can be different. You can I've seen people, they will change content and have the pictures exactly the same in the exact same place. Google still looks at that as copied material, scraping content. So you want to change those images too. Take them out. I tell all of my students when we start, first thing you should do when you come to a page, take out every image and take out every link. Then you have a clean page you're working with. You're not concentrating on, well, I got to make sure this paragraph matches this picture. You don't have a picture to match. All you're concentrating on is your words. Then come back and say, okay, I made this paragraph, this picture will go great here, or this image will be perfect here. And then do your links. That's just how I teach my students. You know, get rid of the distractions, and distractions are links and pictures. Start with a clean slate. When you're modifying, then you can concentrate on your words and how you want your page to flow. Pictures can last. Pictures should be the last thing you worry about.
Sheila, can I ask something that you touched on earlier?
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
I have thought I made folders, but I have a drop-down bookmark thing with folders in that. I think I did something wrong.
Now, if you have a drop down, then that just means you exceeded the amount that can fit on your bookmark bar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So up here, and then what you can do is just go through all those folders and see if there's anything that can match in some of these. You don't want to have something that you might forget. That's why I say if you can put it in some here, you can even move, like I have right here, personal. I actually have a folder in that folder, because then I can put all my personal business in there, but it's still under personal. It's, you know, but it's for my business. You know, same thing with over here in training. These are docs I need for training students. These are my personal docs that I need, but it's still under training. So you can move a folder and put it under a folder.
Okay, so if I consolidate some of that stuff I do in Bookmark Manager.
Yep. No, all you have to do, you can just drop and drag it. If you have it, you know, when you have the drop down, just click the drop down and just pick your folder up and drag it and put it under the folder you want it to go in.
Okay, I'll give it a shot. Thank you.
Yep. Yep. But that's the easiest thing to do is, like I said, you want everything visible on your bookmark bar. You don't want anything that's dry off that you have to click, because I promise you'll forget that you have it, and then you'll go and bookmark it again. So that's why it's important, you know, even if you have different folders with different names, I promise you they'll probably fit under one of your other titles, and you're just going to have a folder within a folder. And then
how many does the bar hold?
It depends on your computer. I think mine holds what, 10, 2, 3, 6, 9. I think I got room for one more. So yeah, so it just depends on your computer and the size of your computer. What do you call it? Yeah, your computer screen.
Thank you.
But yeah, that just makes it easier when you organize. So like I said, especially your Zoom trainings and your marketing, your ad sites, to pull them, you know, be easier instead of searching, where did I add, where did I put that? I forgot where it's at. Same thing with your images. When you go to download your images, everybody, when you get a computer, it might be on the side, it might be at the bottom, just depends on how your computer is set up. Everybody has this right here, you know. These usually come with your computer. You have your desktop, your downloads, your documents, your pictures. If you don't have Dropbox, that's fine. You can put it in your pictures, and you do the same thing. You just click on your pictures folder, and then you click on your home, and then you just create new folders. And then you, like mine, I have one for blogging pictures, save pictures. I use it for training. You can do like website pictures. So whatever you want to, and then you open that folder, and then inside that folder, you create folders. So inside there, then you can put like, this is going to be all my family images. This is going to be my motivational. This is for pets, vacation, my wine pictures. And then even when you open that, you got your wine pictures, and then you can go in and create another folder, you know, go to home and create another folder, and you can put romance, you know, all your romance, and then you have a place to put your romance pictures. So you can create folders within folders and just organize everything. So then when you go to do ads, you say, okay, let me go to my pictures folder, and I'm going to do wine ads. So then I'm going to pull up all of my wine pictures. or if I'm going to do, you know, energy or exercise or vacation. Everything's there instead of you going in and clicking on pictures and you got 1,000 pictures and you're roaming through when you spend half an hour trying to find one image you want to use. So even if you have those 1,000 pictures, start creating folders and then drop and dragging images as you come to them to the appropriate folder they need to go into.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. So that's about all I have. The other thing I wanted to go over is when you do go into your website, the main thing you want to be, you know, I always tell my students, when they go into their website, they get confused. We always have our pages you want to do. You want to do all your wine pages first. So you want to go to your wine category, you know, and you go and you click on your wine and you do everything that's in your wine, whatever is in that category. You do all your drop downs, whatever is there. You do all your wine, then you do all your coffee, then your Bella Vita. You know, that's how we teach. You know, you do the main anchor offers first. You also want to make sure that when you do those main anchor offers, you don't forget to change the date. Every page has a date that it was created. That helps you determine if you touch that. So once you finish that page and you republish it or update it, make sure you come over to the date and you change this date. All you have to do is come the date. It gives you a calendar. Be very aware of this time because you don't want to put anything in the future. So make sure it's the current time, but change the date of the when you did that page. Your template was created in 2015, 2016, and the pages reflect those dates. If you're going to apply for Google, they are aware of those dates. So if your website came into publication in 2020 and you have a page in there from 2018, they're going to raise a flag, say, oh, this is a copied site. They may or may not continue to look at anything else. So they might just say, oh, you got scraping content because of that one date. Even though you published that page and you modified it, you didn't change the date. So make sure this date is the current date that you changed it. Some of you's going, oh, God, I've never done that. Do not go through and change it to all the same dates. If you did that, try to get it as close as you can. You can see down here where it says revisions, tells you how many times that you revised. You can actually go through there and see, you know, when you revised it last. Sometimes you'll be able to see how many times, I'm not sure, but it tells you when it was revised. You can go to previous. It'll tell you the last few times you worked on it, all times that you've done it. So usually just pick, you know, a good day that's not the same day or close to the day, and do that, okay? So that's one of the things you want to do.
Which side is your latest revision? Is it your right?
Your latest revision will be the first one because you see it says
Okay.
current revision.
That's what I thought. Okay, thank you. I want to be sure I was correct.
Yeah. All right. So, and then you just click return to editor and it brings you back to your page, if you don't want to change it. But that's where you want to, you know, go in and look and see when you originally worked on this page, or, you know, take a few times back. You don't want to change it, so don't go in and tell it to compare the two or anything like that. Just when you find the date you want to put, just go and click return to editor so you can come back to your page. Then just hit your update so it knows that, hey, you want to keep everything the way it is, and you'll be good. The other thing is once you finish your anchor offers, you know, according to the roadmap, then you do your number 2, your group 2 offers, and come through and they're listed out. If you don't have that roadmap, the easiest way to do it is just come to all pages. All pages has every page in your system, including your category menus. Usually those are tabs. Sometimes they're not. I have tabs for all of my different things, and they're not menus categories. But just start with the ones that you see the dates haven't changed, you know, and just go in and edit it. And if it has a revision, go in and see if it's that you did. If it is, then change the date. and just go down. If you have to, keep a notebook beside you and say, yeah, I've done that one. This is the one I've done. But click through the ones that you have done, and you just want to come publish. That way you see just your published pages. And then that way you don't miss a page in your website. There's some people that go through Google and all they've done is their category menus and their category pages. Not all things are on the category. You still have those floating pages. So this is where you can go and catch all of those. And it's just easier to go through page by page by page after you've done your anchor offers, the group 1, and then you do your group 2s. If you don't have a link, don't worry about it. Like I said, go ahead and modify that content to the best of your ability. Go ahead and put images out there. Then when you get a link, you can come back in and put the link in with the appropriate verbiage. I've seen people that have gone and applied for Google Ads, and Google comes back and denies them, and I'll go in and check their pages, and they've taken links out, but they didn't take the verbiage. They still have click here to purchase, or go here and see what we're talking about. And there's no link for people to go to. Google considers that false advertising. So if you've taken links out, make sure you've taken the verbiage out that goes with it, because especially if you're applying for Google. But change those contents. I promise you there's something coming, or you can get access to, a marketing house, or go out there and search and say, hey, I really need a cosmetic company. So go out there and search for cosmetic affiliates, and try to register for them and put them in your site, until Roy finds something, or something gets on one of the other programs, or you get approved for another program that you already have access to. So that's some of the things.
Sheila,
Okay.
that makes me think of something. I was trying to work on that lingerie page the other day because I had it, because I didn't really want to do it. But then the link that was in there, I had already taken out, and then I went in looking for another company and didn't find one. What do you do in that case? Just leave the links out?
Just take the links out. Like I said, same thing with Soap Creek. We haven't found anything. I actually have several other companies that I use that I have found.
I found another soap company and changed those kind of in that process, but I didn't find the lingerie. So I'm just curious.
Yep. Yeah, for the lingerie, then you can just change it to, make it more of an infomercial that, hey, there is things out there, or just an information page. You can even take it to a dating site, talking about how lingerie can enhance the mood of a dating site, how it empowers women to have sexy lingerie up underneath that big suit, put a different spin on it, on things that you can market, or talk about, hey, you need that sexy lingerie after you just lost all that weight. You have the same title, just a different angle. And then when you do find that lingerie company, then all you have to do is, wherever you have a reference to lingerie, then you can just go in and say, oh, by the way, do you need some lingerie? Maybe you don't have what you're looking for, and then put your link. So you're not really changing what you have there, you're just adding to. So change it or modify it to what you can market, but still leave that in there so it can cater to the lingerie aspect. Or if you don't have anything, then just talk about how lingerie affects the personality of the woman, the man, how it enhances the romance, or, things like that, and make it more of an information page. Make sure that you take away anything that relates to go here if you don't have anywhere for them to go.
Okay, great. Thank you.
But don't take it off your page. It's content, especially if you've already marketed it.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome. All right, that's all I have for today. Anybody got any questions or anything that needs to be cleared up, or something I didn't touch base on that you want me to? We have a few minutes to go.
Sheila.
Yes.
I know you talk about always bookmarking stuff, and I thought I bookmarked episode 9. For some reason, every time I go in there and try to find it, it takes me to the pages where it skips that one.
Let's see. So we're going to go to rrr247.com/episode/9. Is that what you're getting? Now, he did password this one.
Right.
So is this what you're getting?
Well, no, I wouldn't even come up with the episode 9. It would come up with the main page.
All right, so I'm going to copy and paste it into the chat for you to copy and bookmark, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Uh-huh. And here's the password.
Isn't it Rory 7?
Yeah, it's in there.
Rory?
777.
Mm-hmm. All right, so
Hey,
yeah,
Sheila, I was going
yes.
to point out the girl with the lingerie problem. Can't she go to CJ, Convention Junction?
Yeah, CJ has lots of programs in there. Even if you have a clothing company, most clothing lines do have a lingerie section in it, so you can just put clothing, and then they can just look for the lingerie tab. So if you have a clothing company, CJ has lots of them in there. You just have to go into.
That's where I was looking, but I was looking under lingerie because I have a couple of clothing companies that I could
Yeah.
probably.
So what you can do is go in and pull up your clothing company and see if they have a lingerie tab. So it doesn't have to be exclusively lingerie. You can actually put that clothing company in there and just, say, hey, search here for, the lingerie you're looking for. And then I already know, hey, I'm going to be searching, and then they can search for the lingerie tab.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, you're welcome. So I was getting ready to do something. I forgot what it was that fast. Oh, pictures. So yeah, when you do images, pull images out for anything, there's several different places. Google's always a great place to go, and you can just type in women's clothing, you just pull it up, and then the actual advertiser that you're using, they usually send you out links that you can use to put in their site. You can actually pull up their site and pull clothes straight off of their website and use it. I use my snippet editor for that. My thing tool, it comes with Microsoft Office, has a snipping tool. I think Mac has something a little different. I can't remember what it's called. And you can just crop it, just literally snip it out, almost like a crop from that site, and then save it to your image or copy into your site, and then just link it to the company you want to use. And then you just go to images. I always go straight to images, and then it pulls up, whatever I'm looking for. Same thing with Halloween fashion, because it's getting ready to be Halloween, so you can type Halloween. So type in Halloween costumes and then images, and then it pulls up all the different costumes. There's actually 2 great companies in CJ. There's a program in ClickBank on how to make costumes, how to sew, things like that for people that want to do homemade. I actually did a meme last night for Halloween because, it is getting ready to be Halloween. So did I put it here? I think I put it here. So where is it? I think I put it under logos. Right, this one is the one. And I like anime. So this is one for my wine. It said blood sustains me, but wine is the elixir of life. And then I have my wine glass with my wine to go to my wine. And this is what I'm going to use for Halloween. I got a couple of other ones I'm getting ready to make. Here's another one. I always like something sexy that's going to draw out. So I just got to figure out how I'm going to word that one. But I'm going to link them all to wine because they got the wine glass, red wine. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to do one for wine and health. So here's another one I'm going to use, something a little sexy. This one's going to be a little risque. Don't know how I'm going to use him, but he just looks yummy.
Nothing wrong with that.
He looks a little yummy, so I want to use
I like
him.
that term, yummy.
Yeah, he looks yummy. And then here's another one that I had. it's already out there. It says, do you want to trick or treat like a grown up? Then it says Happy Halloween. I did this one last year, but I think I'm going to fix it up a little bit since I've learned some things along the way. But, you know, just different things like that for Halloween. It's coming up. Now's a great time to go ahead and get your holiday memes and holiday pages out there. Don't wait till Thanksgiving to start advertising for Christmas. Now's the time to go ahead and start doing Halloween. Now's the time to go ahead and start doing Thanksgiving. Now's the time to do Christmas and New Year's, and even start doing with Easter and Valentine's. Now's the time, because it takes 4 to 6 months for recognition. So if you wait till January to start advertising for Valentine's Day, you're too late, because people have already figured out what they want to get for Valentine's. So now's the time people start to look. They're going to be looking at Christmas, what they want to get for Valentine's. They're going to be looking, you know, in New Year's, what they're going to get for Easter. So everybody's working months in advance. So you want to make sure that your ads and your memes and your advertisement months and your pages are out there at least 2 months prior to them looking, so that you can start getting that traffic so people can start seeing them. And just because the holiday season's over, don't take your memes down. Don't take your pages down. Still leave them out there, because people still look for them year round. So they're making note, where do I want to shop? Where do I want to go to? So put those out there. Leave those pages active. Leave those memes active. That doesn't mean if you have a page on your website and you've put it in your menu because it's Christmas or the holiday season, you can take it out of your menu. That doesn't mean you've taken it off your page. Just don't draft it. I actually have a category for season and promotional stuff, and it stays there year round, so people can go there and find Christmas stuff. They can go there and find Easter stuff, Halloween stuff. It stays up year round. So that's something people can think about, you know, instead of swapping pages out, you know, for season to season. Create a category if you have room in your menu structure for season and promotional stuff, so that people can look and say, oh, let me see what they got coming up for Christmas. So they have an idea, you know, or what's going on for Halloween. You know, they have an idea of where they can go. So now's a good time to get started with these advertisings, to get your stuff out there. And no, 100 ads is not enough. Sorry, that ain't even a drop in the bucket. Like I said, you need to pick a time to where you are advertising at least twice a week, more if you can. Any spare moment that you have outside of family, family always comes first, but anytime outside of family, then you should be, you know, doing something in your site. If you get to the point it's like, I just can't write another thing, you know, I just need a break, I can't look at my website, but I want to do something, then you have your V marketing. Those of you that have access to the one-on-one board, you can be calling people, texting people. That'll be the perfect time where you can go in and do some advertising, create some templates, or if you have your templates, either straighten them up or revamp them or add to, or just go out and do some advertising. Do something every day in your website, every day, not just, you know, when you feel like it. Make it part of your daily routine that you're doing something. I'm up there with my daughter in Raleigh. We have my hotspot for internet, and we're splitting that between me and my grandson doing homework. So I'm on my phone a lot, on my Instagram, on my social media, when he's doing his work, and then I get on and do my student training. I still, you know, have to create pages. I take snaps. I mean, I had 3 hours of sleep the other day, and I believe I went through half a box of snaps. It's been a busy week for me. So you do what you can when you can. Like I said, I was sitting in between doctor's appointments with my cousin, doing Instagram, you know, doing social media, actually pulling up my document, my Google Doc on my phone, and adding templates from things that I saw, you know, adding ad body for advertisements on just things that I saw around me. On like, man, that would be a good ad to put in. So, you know, you can do things every day for your website. Even if you think it's little, it's still something that's keeping your website foremost in your mind. All right, if you have to go, that's fine. You go ahead. I'm done. I'm just hanging around to see if there's anything. I have a training at 4 o'clock Um,
I have a question.
I'll see everybody next week.
all right. So if
Sheila.
anybody's got any questions,
Yeah, I do.
yeah. Okay.
Okay, I did a page on the brain stuff, and I tried to put it under my health and fitness, and it wouldn't let me do it. It just kept it at the bottom of my category list. It wouldn't let me.
Do you
When
have
every
more
time
than
I
nine?
tried to put it in underneath the health and fitness, it wouldn't save it. It just kept putting it at the bottom of my categories.
Do you have more than 90 items on your menu?
Hmm? I have the old one. I thought you could, you know.
You have to have less than 90 or it won't save anything. That's
Hmm.
when they did the new website, when they did the
Yeah.
new update, that was one of them. You have to have 90 items or less on your menu. That includes your menu subcategories. If you have more than that, you can put it all day, it won't save it. So you have to go in and you have to remove them in bulk. So if you have 93, you can't do one and one and one. If you have, 110, you have to get rid of all of them at one time and then save it. But yeah, if you have 90 or more, it won't save it. It has to be less than 90.
Less than
So
90 pages?
yeah. So in your menu, so when you go to your menu right here,
Well, you've got 219.
no, that's pages.
That's what I said,
Yeah.
pages.
Yeah. So if you're trying to put it here under your menu and you have more than 90 of these, it's
More
not
than
going to
90
put,
categories?
yeah.
But I mean, the
Not
subcategories, you can't put it as a subcategory?
No, subcategory or categories. If this is more than 90, this whole structure, including these, if you have more than 90, you can't add any more. So that
Wow.
means you got to remove one and replace it. Yep.
Hmm.
That's the
So how
new
do people
update.
see your pages then if you have to take them off?
Well, their pages are still floating in there. That's why you have
Yeah.
your search. Yeah, that's what your search search bar is for. So they can
Yeah.
search it. Yeah,
Well,
but
I
you
have to
can't
know
put
what they were
everything.
searching for.
Yep. That's
Hmm.
why the key phrases, that's what your key phrases are there for, is they want to search in, you put in their key phrase, just like they search Google, they search your website. And then most of the pages you should be advertising, any page that you have in your system, they can advertise, it'll come straight to their page, then they can search, but we can no longer put everything on our menu. So if you have more than 90 items in your menu, you're not going to be able to put anything else in there.
Well, put it down as a separate category.
It doesn't matter. If there's 90 things in here already, it's not going to save it. It'll put it there, but it won't save. It'll keep spinning and spinning and spinning.
Well, I put it in as a category by itself, and it does show up on my category list. Maybe, is that why maybe
Yeah,
my Google AdSense is not working?
it could be, because that's
I
one
don't
of the
know what
things.
else to do with that. I mean, I've recopied the code several times, put it in.
Yeah, and I was on there yesterday and it didn't show up. Well, see,
I
mine
know
wasn't on there for.
they haven't showed up for several days. I don't
Yeah,
know what.
mine wasn't on there yesterday, but it was on there today. So I don't know what's going on, because I was looking at mine yesterday and the day before, and mine never showed up. But now they're on there today. So I don't know if it's something with Google or what. But yeah, mine was gone for about 2 days too.
Yeah, mine's been gone for like a week now. I've been playing with it, and I said I got Skype back and forth with Paul because he's the Google expert supposedly, and he couldn't help me. He kept asking
Yeah.
me the same questions that I already answered. So I don't
Yeah,
know.
there's really, yeah,
Trouble deleting pages?
yeah, because the way it is, the way it's set up is when you go to save it, if you've done all your updates and you still have 90 items, even though you've taken 2 or 3 of them off, and you go to hit save menu, if there's still 90 here or more, it won't save it. You have to delete it all at one time or remove them all at one time and then click save before it will actually save. It will keep spinning and spinning and spinning if there's still more than 90 items here. So you can't remove one at a time. You have to remove them in bulk.
So you have to remove, like if I have five pages I can delete, I should not do them one by one, it won't let me, but if
It won't let you. Yep.
if I do them all at once, it will?
Yep. So if you have 5 that you want to remove. Say you have 97 pages. You're just like, okay, I got to get 90 or less. I have 7 pages I need to remove from my menu. You have to physically go and hit your page down button, hit remove on all 7, and then hit save menu. Then it will see, hey, there's 90 in there. It will save it. But if you go and do, okay, I'm going to remove this one and hit save, and it said, then he's like, okay, I got 96. It's going to sit there and spin and spin and spin because you still have more than 90.
When you say remove them, you go to all pages and remove them that way.
No, this is
Oh.
on your menu, just your
Oh,
menu.
on the menu. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh.
on the menu.
So on the left there.
Yeah, right, on the right here.
Oh, on the right. Okay, gotcha,
Yep.
gotcha.
So if there's a page you wanted to remove, you know, let's say, what do I want to do? Let's say I want to remove this one. I can just come here and click remove, and it will remove it. It doesn't remove it from my system. It's still there. They can search it. Say if I want to remove another one, say I remove this one, same thing, hit remove, then it removed it.
That's what I was looking for.
Yeah, so, and then if there's another one, let's say I want to remove, and this is just if I had more than 90 and I had a bulk, so then I would hit remove here, and let's say find one more. Because there's a lot of people that have this one 4 times on their website. You only need it once.
Yeah.
So, and then, so now I've removed 3, so let's just say I removed 3, that put me at 89. So now I can go up here and click save menu. My menu will save.
So
But
it has to be 90 or lower, or
yes, it has to be 90 or less, or it will just sit there and spin and spin and spin. Yep.
Wow.
So the pages are not gone. They are still in my site because I have over 200 pages in my site. They are just not on the menu for people to click immediate access to. That's why you have your search button. That is important. You have to have that search button. It is required for Google because people should be able to search your website just like they search Google. That's why your key phrases are important. They search your website with key phrases just like they search Google with key phrases. So don't get, you know, discouraged or don't get scared or like they're not going to be able to find nothing they're looking for on my site. Yes, they will. If they come to your site for whatever brought them, they can search your site and they can say, let me see if she's got something on pets. Well, let me see if there's something, you know, on here about travel. You know, where can I go on vacation? So if you have those words or if those words appear on any of your pages, it doesn't have to be necessarily in the title. It doesn't necessarily have to be a key phrase. If that word appears anywhere in your website, that page is going to pop up for vacation. That page is going to pop up for cryptocurrency. If you have cryptocurrency listed, it doesn't have to be in the title. It could be in a page. That page where cryptocurrency is going to show up. So your search is key. So that's why it's there. Don't think that they can't find what they're looking for because you don't have it on menu. That's not it. Just like with Walmart, you can go to the Walmart website. They don't have 10,000 items listed on their menu. They have categories. You click on that category, then you can see what you're looking for. So same thing here. You can go to your category page and list everything that you have available. So if they click on arts and entertainment, then you can, there's your category page on arts and entertainment, then you can list, okay, I have this for this, I have this page for this. That's where you can list each individual page if you want to. Same thing, you know, but you don't have to put it on your menu. But when they click on your category page and it comes up, that's where you can list every page you have that's relevant to that. Same thing with wine. If you have 20 pages on wine, you don't want 20 pages on your menu. But if they click on your cooking, food, and wine category page, there you can say, okay, now about wine. I have this page about, you know, all kind of cooking products, you know, or all recipes. I have a chicken recipe page. I have a steak recipe page. I have wine and romance page. And that's where you can list, either list them or you can put a paragraph for each one where they can go to your internal link and find the page they're looking for. So that's how you can do that, where you can have all the pages just a click away, or just leave them floating and they can use your search tab.
So is this a Google thing that you can't have more than 90?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And that happened on the last
Maybe that's,
two
yeah,
updates before, 2 updates prior. Yeah. Yeah, they
yeah.
changed that. So you have to go in and say, if you have everything listed on your menu, you got to get it down to 90 or less.
Well,
And
I'll
then
do that and see if that'll fix my
Yep.
AdSense. But maybe that's why, because I'm sure I got more than 90.
Okay. Yep, I'd try
Yeah.
that.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Anybody else? Anything else before we call it a day?
Yes.
Yes.
Can you explain the concept, if you will, of Dropbox? I know I Skyped with you about it now, especially when it comes to Rory's pictures and images. Now, I did as you said, which was because I only had the 2
Yes.
gigabytes of disk space, and his was 3 gigabytes.
Yep.
So I copied it to all his stuff to my disk. However, now if he does any updates of that, how am I going to get that? Is there some way to get his stuff on the cloud?
Yeah.
Or,
No. What you do is if you subscribe to Rory's Dropbox, okay?
Yeah.
And I tell people you can subscribe to Rory's Dropbox. Do not download it to your Dropbox. It's too big if you have the free one. I have the professional one, so I have it on here. It's called what is it? Click Partners. I mean, it's huge. It's gonna take
Yeah.
up
Yes, that's
space.
mine's called Click Partners too.
Yeah, that's his Dropbox, what it's called. And he updates it. Now, if you are on his list, when he updates that Dropbox, he will send you an email with whatever email you registered with, and it'll say, Rory has updated Dropbox. And when you click on it, it will have all the images that he's changed or added. So all you have to do is copy them and put them in your picture folder, or you can add them to your memes, or add them to whatever you have folders for pictures. You don't have to have them all. The only thing I say, if you're starting out and you're, heads about going and getting images, then yeah, get Rory's Dropbox, and just have it. Don't download it. Just have it there. Save it, bookmark it, flag it on your email so it's there. But don't download it. You can open it and see the images in there, and then click each individual image and do it that way, but don't download the whole Dropbox. It's too big. It'll take up all your free space. You won't be able to use it for your own personal stuff unless you upgrade to a bigger Dropbox. Then you have to pay for it. So
How do you get his Dropbox?
Yeah, so if you have his Dropbox and you didn't download it, but you are still using it, you will get an email every time he updates it or every time he adds images. And usually it's not every month that he adds them. He went up, 3 or 4 months one time and didn't change anything in Dropbox. And then it was like 1 month, it was like every week we were getting notification that he added something new. By then, if you've been here a while, you know how to go in and get your own images and stuff. But if you're fairly new and not real sure how you can get images or where to get images, yes, his Dropbox is great to have. It's a great resource to keep you from having to go find things. But I don't use it that much. I still have it because I subscribed to it, or got it when I first started, but I hardly ever use it. So it's really up to you. It's just when you get that Dropbox, do not download it. Just open it and then pick the images you want out of it. Don't download it to your Dropbox.
Well, I subscribed to him back when I first started, but I can't remember how to get there.
If you put it in your Dropbox there, you're going to see this name here. That's Rory's Dropbox. If you subscribe to it and didn't download it, then you're probably getting emails in whatever email you set up with whenever he changes or adds something to it.
And I subscribed to it. I asked for it when I first started, and I've never gotten any emails.
Same here.
And it wouldn't let me put it in Dropbox because it said my Dropbox, couldn't accommodate it. So it's just email, and I couldn't open the email to see the pictures.
You should be, because Yeah, you
Yeah,
should
I
be
don't
able to open
I
the
don't
email.
get them anymore either, Sheila. I used to get them all the time, but now I don't get them anymore.
Yeah, I don't think he's put any out for a while. I think the last time he put anything out was when we got, when was it? God, it's been a while. The
I
last
don't think
time
I've ever gotten
it,
a follow-up
yeah.
email after the original
Yeah, all
one.
it is just an email that says Dropbox has been updated. And if you didn't know it was from Rory, it just says Dropbox has been updated. You think it came from Dropbox.
Hmm.
But then usually
Yeah,
mine comes,
they wanted
mine
me to
is,
pay more.
yeah, usually
What?
mine comes in my junk mail.
Yeah, they wanted me to pay to be able to download that into my Dropbox.
That's because your Dropbox is full.
Yeah,
Yep, that's why your Dropbox full, the free version. So
yeah.
yeah, if you can't open it, it tells you need to pay to open it. That means you've downloaded it before and the Dropbox is full and it can't
Yeah.
hold
Well,
anymore.
I opened a new Dropbox in Google because Google has a Dropbox, so that's would be different, wouldn't it? Because I
Yep.
opened that because I
Yep.
bought the memes. I haven't
Yep.
gotten them yet, but I opened a new Dropbox in Google.
When'd you get the memes?
I ordered them. I haven't gotten any.
When did you order them?
I think right on the 20th or the day before, because I thought it was ending on his birthday. That's why I ordered them then.
Yeah, it's getting ready to go up.
But he was talking in the meeting Tuesday night that it was still the same price. So I
Yeah,
guess
they get ready to go up. So I'll check on that because usually once you get the memes and they're finished, they'll put a Dropbox link on your trail card.
I haven't heard anything since I bought
Yeah,
them.
if you just did it on the 20th, he hadn't got to it yet. It usually
Yeah.
takes him about two to 3 weeks to get them done.
Yeah.
Sheila, I have
Yeah.
a student that bought memes on July 8th and she still hasn't got her memes.
Have you put her name on the?
Oh God, yes. And she's been billed for it every month. I put all the receipts there.
Then you need to add Rory on her card.
Yeah. And I've even done that.
Then,
I've been at Gavin, but he's not responding to me.
no,
So.
do at Rory, and then I would Skype Rory. Do a Skype for Rory.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. It's just, I have like 6 receipts attached to her card.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sheila,
I got a couple guys waiting too that I'm trying to figure out what's going on with them.
Sheila, I have not got mine yet either, and I think I ordered mine in June.
Oh dear.
Oh, I guess